Thank you. Can I welcome you all back to the big screen? Now look, some of you may know these, but these sorts of film festivals don't happen by themselves. They take a huge amount of work, particularly during a pandemic. Can I ask you to show your love and appreciation to, of course, the London Film Festival team. But also to everyone at Film London and the BFI. Now look, in my view, culture and film is one of the things that makes London the greatest city in the world. It's something I feel passionately about. It contributes to our city culturally, economically and socially. And I believe actually one of the great things about our city, the greatest thing, is our diversity. And during this film festival, we've seen some of that diversity. One of the reasons I chose this film for the Mayor's special presentation is we have a wonderful, wonderful director. She's an honorary Londoner in Clio Barnard. The lead, of course, isn't honorary, he's a proper Londoner, Ali Ava. And we've got a diverse cast you're going to meet and wonderful talent from around the country. Can I just say one thing before I go, which is this. This festival this week shows that London is back. Have a great night. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sadiq Khan. We are so excited to welcome Clio Barnard back to the festival. She's a filmmaker so close to our hearts. Her very first debut, 2010, she not only won the Best Newcomer Award at the London Film Festival, but she also won the Sutherland Award with The Arbor. Subsequent films, The Selfish Giant and Dark River, have also screened at the festival. And now we have this incredible Bradford set, Ali Ava, which really is that romance that really I think we all need. It's a pitch-perfect romantic drama. And as the mayor said, an incredible cast, very diverse cast. And it's a film about love. It's driven by incredible performances from Adil Akhtar and also Claire Rushbrook, two wonderful actors at the heart of this film. I'm really thrilled. Please put your hands together for the producer, Tracy O'Riordan, who's going to introduce the film tonight, and the team.
Thank you so much for coming. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce our amazing director and the cast onto the stage and then just say a few things and we'll take it from there. Just welcome onto the stage Clio Barnard, writer-director. Adil Akhtar. The amazing Claire Rushbrook. Sean Thomas. Elora Torkia. Natalie Gavin. Mona Goodwin. Rupa Patani. And we have amazing co-producer Amina Ayub Allen. Kamal Khan, a script consultant. And our wonderful casting director, Shaheen Baig. So just a few words. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. And what an amazing venue to celebrate this premiere of this of Ali and Ava. Whilst this is a love story set in Bradford and somewhat of a love letter to that city, the film was post-produced in London, where many of us live and work. So tonight we're delighted to celebrate this screening with you, especially, hopefully, with the worst of the pandemic behind us. So thank you so much. Thank you to Tricia. Amazing to have been invited here. Done an incredible job. And also a big thanks to our financier and formidable creative doulas, Lizzie Frankie at the BFI, Rose Garner and Claudia Yusuf at BBC Film, Caroline Cooper-Charles and Hugo at Screen Yorkshire, and also to Altitude, who are distributing the film. So this film is based on real people, and two of those people who are really important to this film can't be here tonight, Moe Hassan and Rio, but they will be at the screening tomorrow night in Bradford. They're incredibly important to us, as are the local Bradford cast and crew. You can see our amazing cast. There's people in the audience. Can I ask you, maybe hopefully not embarrassing, but if you worked on the film, stand up, because there's so many of you here, and you all should get a big round of applause. We shot in Bradford in late 2019, and we filmed our pickups over 4 days at the beginning of March 2020. 3 weeks later, the UK went into lockdown. At several points we discussed shutting down. It just seemed inconceivable that we could lock picture and continue to do sound work, music, ADR, and grade remotely. But we kept going. Thanks, Meg. One highlight was Karen Casey, who I think has flown into Ireland from Ireland tonight. She recorded the stunning version of Grace in her garden shed, I think in Kilkenny in Ireland, and sent it over to us. Amazing, thank you. But that was a highlight, because a lot of the rest of it sort of felt frustratingly slow, arduous, time-consuming, and sterile. And we got as far as we could go, and then we actually realized that we couldn't finish this film. And an independent film is so much more than the sum of its parts, that actually we couldn't finish it until we could be in a room together, as simple as that. So we put it on a brief hiatus, and a year delayed, we are here presenting it. Thanks to Clio, fourth film, 12 years, especially close to my heart because of the connection with Ireland, which you'll see in the film. Thank you to Lionel, who keeps me sane, sorry. And that's it, apart from a little bit of housekeeping at the end.
Amazing. Thank you guys so much. It's such a really wonderful effort from everyone, and I don't want to take too much time or give anything away, but Clio, I just wanted to ask you to sort of set the scene for us. This is based, as Tracy said, on real people. Can you just talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, when I was making my previous films, The Arbor and The Selfish Giant, I met a lot of really incredible people, and one of those people was Rio, and I found her deeply inspiring, and she was the inspiration for the character of Ava. I knew I wanted to make a love story, and I knew I wanted to make something that celebrated Bradford and celebrated the people that I'd got to know really well. Then I met Adil, and I found him inspiring too. Oh. And
nice. Oh, I didn't know it was on. Wow.
And really to get together, you know, so I spent a lot of time with Moe, and then with Adil, we kind of built this character of Ali together. I'd also like to thank Kamal here, who I met back in 2018, and yeah. And showed me the Bradford in a way that he wanted to see on screen, and something that was celebratory of that city and the people in the city.
Adil, I just wanted to ask, did you meet Moe, and what process did the meeting him play in developing the character of Ali?
Yeah, I met Moe, and he was just infused in everything that I did. It was more just, there's a point at which you sort of try and act something, or you see a film and words fail, you know, and that's probably why we love film. And there was something about what he represented that I really find it hard to articulate, but I hope I did justice in what you see tonight. But yeah, with Moe, you just sort of walk into his atmosphere and you just have to be present to it.
And Claire, there's such a wonderful chemistry in the film which people are going to see between you and Adil. And I understand you did a little bit of a chemistry test. Can you tell us about that with Clio to make sure you guys could work together?
Yeah, it's on paper it seemed quite painful to me to go for what was unabashedly a personality test. I think to see if you were compatible with someone. Usually when you go to auditions, there's lots of other reasons why you don't get the part, and the risk with this is that I wouldn't get the part because of me and my personality. But it was cool. Like Clio's very, she set the tone for that chemistry test for the rest of the shoot. We felt very relaxed, very comfortable. Adil's, it was we got there in the end. It's very difficult to talk to even, let alone act with. And he's an all right actor. No, it was a delight. It was easy, at the risk of sounding glib. The script was such, and Adil was such that it was easy. Yeah.
And that joy really comes across on screen. Tracy, did you want to say a few words before we start the film?
It's just basically, so thank you again so much for coming, and just sort of banging the drum that our film is funded by lottery funding. So as an independent film sector, we really rely on that, and so it's just sort of simply that's where this money goes, and it's keeping our sector, hopefully will keep it so it can thrive. Also, if you love this film, which we do, and we hope you do, please tell everybody about it, because that's what we rely on, word of mouth, and we rely on festivals, and we rely on people coming together and talking about our work. So, a bit of banging the drum for independent film.
So, thank you guys so much. Congratulations on the film. Enjoy.